channel. We're going to dinner. We're going to Clap.
Yeah.
I've never been before. Joe was there last weekend and he was drunk. I don't know if he told you that, but he was.
Shh. This is a video about fat loss. Come on.
Well, it's sustainable fat loss.
Yeah,
So yeah, off to Clap. Bye.
So yeah, we're on our way to Clap. Unreal restaurant. Went there for the brunch last Saturday. Got absolutely smashed, which only happens like once every quarter. But yeah, gonna have a nice meal tonight. As I said earlier on in the video, calories banked. Not gonna worry about anything tonight. Gonna have some unreal food and get a good pump in the gym tomorrow. I'm gonna video some of this just to show that I do other things apart from fitness, and I actually do have a girlfriend and socialise as well. So we'll get a few videos of the actual restaurant because it's super cool, and then after we've had our meal we'll go to the bar because there's some really nice views of downtown. So we'll check in a bit if we make it there through the crazy traffic.
Bye. Someone's red light is making me look wild, but we're on the way to the restaurant and that's the Burj.
You can just face track the Burj and then it'll follow the Burj. Massive YouTube channel. Risotto, truffle risotto, broccolini, black cod, banging. She copied me.
fuck on DJ.
Yes guys, what's up? Saturday afternoon now. Been to the gym, hitting up a body session. Obviously you would have seen the dinner last night, so continuing the fat loss series. Who knows how many episodes there might be. There might be 10, there might only be 5, but I want to provide a lot of kind of training and nutrition related value on the channel, alongside obviously mentioning what's going on with the business side of things. But at the end of the day, I'm a coach, I've got a coaching business. I want to provide insight into what I do, which is what myself and the coaches teach the entire client base and everyone that comes on board with us. So as I mentioned in the last video, the first vlog from this series, calories have been really, really good this week. Last night, I had a couple of drinks as well. I think my calorie intake for yesterday was probably around 3,500, which obviously sounds like a lot, but I did mention in the last video that there were a couple of days last week, or this week, earlier on in the week, where I went intentionally lower on calories to build myself a buffer to be able to go over last night, which worked out quite well. So I basically just need to plug in all my numbers to MyFitnessPal from yesterday, figure out where I'm at in terms of averages, and that'll determine what I consume for the rest of the day or tomorrow. But this was really kind of like the baseline week, gathering all the data, figuring out where I'm at and seeing where I need to make changes going into next week. I would recommend, if you don't have as much experience tracking calories, tracking as you go, just so that you are aware of what you're consuming. But I've literally been looking at my nutrition for the best part of like 13 years now, with making a conscious effort to improve body compositions. Obviously I've got a lot of experience doing that and I can eyeball stuff, but I do still track most of the time, because I think even people with a lot of experience tracking like me, it's very easy to find yourself going under on protein and over on fat sometimes, because for myself, like at the moment, my appetite really isn't that high. So like, and for me to hit my protein target of 180 to 200 grams a day, I realistically need to have 4 servings of protein. which I don't really have the appetite to do. So sometimes I have to kind of like almost force myself to have that 4th serving of protein. Like I like sticking to a structure of just 3 large meals a day, which I think is really just the way that you should eat. But if you are in a gaining phase, obviously trying to push, you know, in excess of 3,000 calories, it's hard to do that over 3 meals. It's probably not optimal from my digestion standpoint. Anyway, it's going well. I'm staying active. Obviously my training output is really high at the moment, which definitely helps if you can control your appetite. But the more that I do this myself, the more I try kind of like different macro splits, look at different kind of meal times and things like that. I think the best tip that I could give anyone for nutrition if they're looking to lean down is just try and consume whole foods 90-95% of the time. It's really hard to over consume if you just make your diet predominantly built up of whole foods. It's when you go and eat out and you have multiple courses and you have drinks and you start having processed food, that's when things get difficult, and that's when you want to eat more. But if you literally just stick to a fairly similar diet each day that fits your macros, that you enjoy, as I say, 90-95% whole foods most of the time, you'll probably find yourself in good shape, provided that you are moving a good amount and sticking to a good training program. That sounds obviously massively simplified. There's a lot more that goes into it than that, but that's kind of like where I'm at. Like, I've definitely gone through periods of time in the past where I have consumed more processed foods, and not like junk food, but just having more protein bars and stuff like that. I found that it kind of like didn't really sit well with me. Digestion was a little bit of an issue, and I found myself kind of like craving more sugar and stuff like that. But now I'm definitely in a good spot, so I'm confident I'm definitely going to get in the best shape I've ever been in over the next couple of months. So me and Misha are heading down to Blue Waters today, which is near the marina in Dubai. So I'll definitely get some videos, and then we're going bowling and for some food with a couple of our friends later on. So I'll video some of that. The walking bridge is better though. I mean, obviously.
Oh, there's the wheel.
In the sea.
You're not in it.
So we're just parked up at Blue Waters, which is in the island just next to the marina. Basically there's lots of coffee shops, cafes, all that sort of stuff. Gonna just have a walk around, get some sun, get some steps. Not running today, so we need to do steps today. Tomorrow we're gonna do a 16k palm run, which will be cool to vlog. Obviously I won't need to do any steps tomorrow, so on days that we don't run, we step.
Long time.
Look at those tourists here. I've only lived here for 2.5 years.
I've been here for over a year and I've never seen this.
This is literally the best city in the world. Why on earth would you want to live anywhere else? Okay. So sick. Every restaurant, cuisine you could think of, year-round sun, sick gyms, zero income tax. I'm just selling Dubai right now. So I had a protein shake before I left, and now I'm just having a 100% natural lemonade. That's true actually, it's not sarcasm. And some pomegranate carbonate for tomorrow for the 10-mile run. It's about 33 degrees now. Perfect.
It's so good. Literally, if you come to Dubai, go get Arabica because it is the best coffee ever.
What she said. This is the best coffee ever. Iced Americano. It's very, very hot. We just walked all the way to the end of JBR to get a coffee, and now we're going to walk back. We're going to get about 10,000 steps, if not more today. Probably more like 12. And then we're going to play bowling. That is hybrid training. Weightlifting, bowling, walking.
We're going for a run, not together. Joe's gonna speak.
Yeah. So we're just driving to the beach. Me and Sam are going to do 16k. We went for a big pizza last night and a burrito actually. So we're very, very fueled. Calories will be roughly calculated later on today. But I'm going to go a little bit lower on calories today because yesterday was high. But that's fine because the training output is high as well. So we're going to do 16k easy, probably at around a 5:20 per kilometre sort of pace. Then get a coffee and then start the workday. So we'll check in later on. Yes guys, so as I said in the clip before, 16k run, boxed off, pretty easy. I think the pace was 5:20, got a little bit hot towards the end. It's really starting to heat up in Dubai, but I quite like running in the heat as long as we're not pushing for any fast paces. But just about to crack on with some work. As always, Sunday for me is just a lot of client programming ahead of check-ins on Monday. I won't do too much today. I've already hit like 17,000 steps because of the run. All I might do is walk along to a coffee shop and work from there. But just gonna show you one of the meals. On my first main meal of the day, here it is. It is the classic yogurt bowl. 0% fat Greek yogurt, about 30 grams of whey, about 100 grams of blueberries, probably 30 grams of dark chocolate, honey, and some dates. So that's probably like 700, maybe 750 calories. Once I track that, but there'll be probably 55 grams of protein in that. So really, really high protein meal there. Decent amount of fats in there as well, and probably around 30, maybe 35 grams of carbs. So perfect for what I need. Last couple of days have been high calorie for me. Dinner on Friday night and a couple of meals out yesterday as well. But across the course of the week, I'm probably at around 3,000. I'm going to calculate that today, so that'll be perfect for me. And then, as I said, I think maybe earlier on in this video, I'll kind of like reassess and see if I need to make any changes for next week. But right now, I'm not going to. I'm just going to make sure that I'm staying compliant with the step target because I'm pretty active at the moment through all of the training. The diet's in check, so it's just going to be a case of following those targets and watch myself slowly lean down over the next couple of weeks. As I said in one of the previous clips, I've done this for years, so I don't need to as accurately track as some of our clients do. But if I find that I'm not leaning down and kind of progressing at the rate I want to and think that it should be, then I'll dial things in a little bit more. But the stats for next week will be 12,000 steps on average, inclusive of running, 4 weight training sessions, 2 runs and a high rock session, and yeah, that's it. So I'm gonna finish, well, I'm gonna cut this clip here, get on with my work, and maybe check in later on when I go down to the cafe. But it's been a successful weekend, even though obviously did eat out a lot. Stayed very active, got like 13,500 steps today. Today I'll probably hit 20,000. So it's probably my main tip, to be honest, unless you want to pull your calories down much lower, is just stay active through training and just maintaining a high step count. Obviously there's definitely a line with training. You don't want to get to the point where you're overtraining and just doing a shitload of cardio, high intensity cardio, like a lot of people do to try and burn calories, because you'll just find that you just can't recover from it. And just remember as well, I think I mentioned in the last video, your body needs to be in a relatively rested state to drop body fat. So it's all about managing recovery, managing nutrition, managing overall activity, and then reassessing. I think that's where a lot of people kind of fuck up, is like, you need to almost do a week, see what happens, reassess and see if you need to change anything. But I think people can get in their own heads a lot and react emotionally to scale weight and the way they're looking at things like that. And that's why I think it's really effective to have a coach who can just look over things from a bird's eye view and say, well, you know, we hit the step target this week, we were a little bit over on calories, you hit your cardio, all we need to do, for example, this week is just make sure the calories are a little bit lower. So it's about having the targets, hitting them, and then reassessing and managing everything in between.